Welcome to my world, where you will experience an atmosphere of love, relevant subjects, and motivation. So let's talk about things that matter. What matters to you matters to me. Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I'm your host, Henry Harris. Today, we're going to talk about before you say I do. And that's part 5 of a series that we've been doing called The Untold Truth About Relationships. It is no surprise to me, or probably even to you, that many people today are rushing too quickly into marriage. I'll be the first to say that I have done this at one time. It's not that I've regret those marriages. I've learned from them. I appreciate them and the person that I was with at one time. But the truth be told, I married prematurely. I didn't understand what marriage was. I didn't know what it was all about. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but can be a disaster if you move into it too quickly. You may be watching and you may have a desire in the near future to get married. And that's fine. But I just want you to consider some of the information I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm not by any means trying to discourage you or tell you don't get married. It's your life, my friend. If you want to get married, good. If you don't want to get married, good. You have no issues with me in that department. I believe that marriage is for someone. It's just not for everyone. Everyone is not marriage material. Even those that try to pressure people to get married. You should never get married because grandma done it or mama done it, or even for religious reasons. Our hope is you have a deeper reason why you want to connect or say I do to someone. I hope that you are really ready for that. From the first time you said I do or announce to the world that you're getting married, there is an overwhelming excitement, and I've been there. There's an overwhelming excitement in the air because you are about to embark upon a journey that is very unfamiliar to you, and in some cases can be quite scary. Ask yourself this question: why did you say I do? What motivated you to agree to establish your life with one person? You ask some people, they'll say, well, I don't know. Ask the average person why they married the person that they're with. Some of them will say, well, because I love him, because I love her. Those are not bad answers. That's great. Hopefully you got something a little bit deeper than that. Why did you do it? While marriage is amazing, and in some instances, there have been those who said I do when reality settles, they should have said I won't. Why is that though? We rush into marriage and we're like, I do, yay, we're announcing it on Facebook, we're planning the wedding, we're getting everything all together, the flowers, the cake, the honeymoon, we're doing all that. But when reality settles and you find out that marriage is not what you thought it was from your reality TV shows, it starts to sink in. Maybe I did rush. Maybe I should have taken my time. Maybe before I said I do, I should have said I won't. And saying I won't is not bad too, because it gives you time to think about that. Marriage is a big deal. I believe the ultimate reason is unrealistic expectations. We have this ideal in our thinking what a marriage should look like, and when it's not fulfilled, it leads to marital dissatisfaction. Because the marriage that you're in looks nothing like what you thought it would look like, and now you want out. I think marriage within itself, and this is how I see it today after being married twice, I think marriage within itself is not a necessity. I don't believe that one's love for someone is limited to a marriage certificate or you need to marry them right away. If you said, no, I am not getting married, in some cases, you are using great wisdom. Because to say no just simply means I'm not prepared to embark upon this journey. Once again, marriage is not for everyone, but we should never encourage or pressure anyone to get married until they are ready. Not if you think they're ready, they have to be ready. What do I mean when I say be ready? You know what that means? That means be physically, mentally, emotionally stable for marriage. Marriage in itself will not cure your emotional state. Number 2, are you financially stable? Do you have money? And I'm not saying you gotta be rich, but are you financially stable? Are you holding down pretty good? Do you have your own house and so forth? Number 3, what about your living arrangements? Some people want to get married and don't have nowhere to live. Some people get married just for that reason alone, to be with someone or to live in someone's house. Number 4, what about reasoning, decision making? The person that you want to marry, are you sure that y'all can get together and reason together and talk about things and find some common ground and work things through? Number 5, do you have a job? Do they have a job? Not only a job, what about their job history? Do they have a history of quitting when under pressure? Do they have a history of staying at that job for a while? That's important. You may think it's not, but it is. And number 6, are you ready to become one in union? Because let me tell you something about marriage. It's no longer about you. It's about both of you. You become literally one. Sadly, we have invested more into marriage preparation than marriage itself. And that's sad. We have put more effort and excitement into preparing for the marriage when we don't realize that the true test of a marriage starts with the marriage itself. Not all the stuff that happens prior to it. That's fun and all, and that's great, but that does not define your marriage. If you are considering saying I do, ask yourself these questions. And these questions are very important. Number 1, am I truly ready for marriage? If you have any doubts whatsoever, confront them. Now, it may make her mad. And you may be one that's like, you know what? You probably have said I do. But you're going back to her or him and say, you know what? I did say I do. But I'm starting to rethink some things. I'm starting to think that maybe I don't want to get married right this second, maybe right down the road. If they cannot respect that, you need to let them go. And why do they want to rush you to get married? Let's talk about that. Why are they pressuring you to get married? How come they can't respect your decision? Yes, it's devastating after you've told someone I do and then you change your mind. That's devastating. I understand that, but it's even much more devastating to rush into a marriage that you're not even prepared for. Number 2, how would you define marriage, and do you see yourself with that person long term? Everybody has a different definition of what marriage is to them. How would you define it? Do you see yourself growing old with that person? Do you see yourself being with them either long term or short term? After being married and divorced times 2, speaking of myself, I am here to tell you that marriage is not easy and it's not always fun. Doesn't mean I didn't have fun times. It doesn't mean that it was always hard, but I will tell you this much, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of give and take. It is a lot of giving up of oneself, whether that's ego, pride, no matter what it is. It's not easy. This may be a truth you've never heard. This may be a truth that you've never been told, but I'm telling you, marriage is not easy. Anyone who's considering getting married should not only take it seriously, but you should do a lot, and that's in capitalizations, lots of thinking. You really do. I've seen people rush into marriage only to find themselves going through a divorce, and maybe this was a result of them saying, I do, too quickly. May I also add that being committed to someone is not restricted to a marriage certificate. If you got married, that's good. And if you have no interest in getting married at all, that's good as well. Marriage also doesn't remove or take away all of your problems. So before you say I do, realize that you are taking all your baggage into the next person's life. Some people remarry just for that reason. They think it's going to automatically change and don't realize that it can get worse. Marriage is not as simple as saying I do, but requires time. It requires patience. It requires your effort. And if you're not ready, just say so. Like I said, this is not a discouragement to anyone not to get married. But if you're not ready, just say, I'm not ready for marriage. The need to rush into marriage will lead to a downfall and heartbreak. So before you say, I do, realize those two powerful words can either make you or it can break you. Ask yourself if this is truly something you're ready to do. Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the conflict? Can you handle the disagreements, the opposing views, and etc.? Can you handle all these things? Because that comes with the package. Marriage life is not like single life. Marriage life is not even like having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It is a whole different world. It's a whole different level. It's easy to say. Those words are easy to say, I do. But there is a lot of hard work. Listen to me, behind those words. Easy to say it, but there's a lot of hard work behind those words, I do. Sometimes we think we are ready for marriage in our minds, but our hearts is simply not ready. Join me next week as we go into part 6 of our series, The Untold Truth about relationships. And next week, we're going to talk about marrying myself.
Hi, if you like what you're seeing today, be sure to connect with Brother Henry at www.facebook.com/The Brother Henry and You Show. And also be sure to check out and subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/Henry Harris 100. We hope that this has been a blessing to you, and we hope to hear from you soon. Keep watching, because what matters to you matters to Brother Henry.